What I want to talk about today is actually that my girlfriend and I broke up, or currently on a break. I won't get crazy into specifics, but I do think me sharing my story might resonate with a few people, or maybe give other people some clarity on how they're feeling, maybe in a positive or even a negative way, like maybe help them move to action. I'm not really going to get into crazy specifics. I feel like that's not really between me and the internet. Yeah, basically, I just think we were subconsciously hurting each other for so long, like on a daily basis, that it caused a big conversation and for us to move to action. This is honestly pretty hard to talk about. We just were for a long time hurting each other in all ways. I mean, for me, I would hurt her by not spending enough time, or, you know, making her feel special enough, or making her feel like emotionally fulfilled. I was hurting her in terms of I was choosing work over her. I was always working, always placing work as a priority above her, and placing, I guess, my own stuff as a priority above her. Like, I'd work all the time, and then, you know, I don't really consider work free time for myself. And then any free time I had to give it to her, or I didn't have to, but I felt this immense sense of guilt, to the point where I felt like I was kind of not walking on eggshells per se, but I guess in a sense that I couldn't make a different decision besides spending time with her. I really gotta set up like a minecart system maybe. And it wasn't even on purpose, you know, we're both still young, so I'm trying to create a career out of myself. And granted, it's hard to continue to stay positive about what I do, because I know a lot of you know that I'm trying to pursue YouTube, and it's a little ridiculous when I'm not seeing any success yet, right? Obviously, it's hard enough as it is to be supportive for yourself, like to think that you can do it, and to not have this sense of imposter syndrome, or to be confident in your own abilities, or to be confident in the content you put out. Because let's be real, a majority of YouTube is entertainment. It's not going to be super serious. You know, like if I went to school and became a doctor or a lawyer, you know, like a doctor or a lawyer could be making the same amount of money as someone who makes Minecraft fucking funny moments for kids. Like, they do the overly modded and overly edited videos for children, could be making the same or more as a lawyer or a doctor, you know, because it's entertainment, it pays. But because it's entertainment, I think it's hard to justify or feel confident about it when it's not producing income yet, is because you're on the same level as, like, you're making content the same as everyone else, but your content is not yet actually producing income. So like with my content, I feel like, yes, it's a bit absurd, but it's also not producing money. So how it's, you know, it's very hard to feel proud of it. I think, you know, in a sense, if I feel that way about my own content, I'm sure that maybe there's some truth to that, in terms of how she probably felt somewhat similar. And I'm sure it's as important as it is to me. This thing isn't making money yet, and it's been an entire year. So it's like, how do I keep justifying spending time with work while there's someone who really cares about me and wants to spend time with me all of the time? Right? But then I think this is where the dilemma comes from, is yes, I haven't had enough time to make my my channel into what I want it to be. And this is where the issue from her to me comes from, because I've talked about from me to her, is that she wasn't allowing me to have that time, or being okay with it, or having her own things going on, to where she was completely fine with me working. But enough about that. Because of that, and because of those situations, it was a day-to-day situation for both of us that affected both of us negatively, which then led us to action. And you guys can go see. I moved in with my girlfriend about 8.5, maybe 9 months ago. And you can literally see in my videos that the last one I uploaded was, I believe I was saying I was doing it in the morning, because I think I was about to fly down to help her out. And I had just done it in the morning to help her move from where she was up to me. It's like, you can actually see statistically the effect it's had on the amount that I've been able to put out, and the amount of work I've been able to do. Because the Yaps channel is a great gauge of how much free time I have. Because if I have free time, then I come here. And if I have like enough my mind is not absurdly clouded and always stressed out and focused on other things, then I have time for this. You know, I honestly have time for this every day, but I don't have the mental capacity to do this every day, especially with how things were. And I think that led us to a big conversation. But enough about that. I kind of want to just talk about how like relationships are fucking difficult. And I think coming to the end of them, or even having the thought of that a relationship can end is awful, because no one wants that. And I also think not only does no one want that, I think to do that, it feels like cutting off a part of yourself. It's like killing a part of yourself, because me and my girlfriend, we lived together. It wasn't just like a girl that lived like on her own and stuff. I feel like relationships like that are very, honestly, I'm sorry, I know some people might disagree with me here, but I feel like relationships like that are pretty damn easy to get out of, because when you break up, you still get to go home. You still get to go like in your own bed and have your own space. Like that part of you is still there. Like if you are thinking about breaking up and you're struggling to make a decision and you don't live together, just know that your safe space isn't going anywhere. You still fucking have it. Like, let's be real. It's pretty, I think it's pretty easy, but that's not the case. So fuck bro, I don't want to tear up. We moved in together about 9 months ago. We got a dog about 4 months ago. Oh, it's raining. Holy shit, right when I'm talking about this and I want to cry. Fuck you. Yeah, we got a dog 4 months ago or so, and he's literally the cutest guy ever. Fucking put him on screen right now. He has his own little smiles. Like, he's the most unique dog I've ever seen before. He's a complete mutt. But here's the deal, is I share that with her. So that means I don't get to have that anymore, I think. You know, I don't get to have that little guy anymore in my life. And I think that's where a lot of the struggle came from, in terms of like me thinking about it a long time. I think what I believe can relate to a lot of you is the sunk cost fallacy. It's the idea that because you put so much time into something that there's no way you can leave it, you know, which fuck, man, I totally, like, that makes total sense, right? I mean, you put so much time into something, why the fuck would you leave it? For example, like, I have this dog, why the fuck would I leave this dog? I have this relationship, why the fuck would I leave this relationship? I have this house, why the fuck would I leave this house? Because the deal for me is it wasn't just breaking up. I think this is what caused me to intellectually suffer and take forever on my actual decision, and, not even a decision, but to actually have a conversation about all of this. Like, even with all of those things, there still needs to be times where you choose yourself, where you're able to look past the costs in your life that have got you into this moment and truly still think about how you're feeling. I think so many people get into relationships, especially, like, it's so interesting. I feel like I see so many married men and women just so unhappy, and that's why like divorce rates are so high. They don't actually properly communicate how they're feeling, and they let it build up and up and up. And no matter what, if something isn't working, like if two people don't go together, there will be a time where they split up. And if they don't, it's going to be one of those situations where both the parents live in separate rooms in the same house. And I know so many of my friends where that's the case. It's honestly it's really fucking depressing that like two parents live like in the same house in different bedrooms, don't ever like have any intimate moments together or something. They just share children, and then like that's it. That's all that they mean to each other. It's fucked up. I don't want that to happen to anyone, man. It's just awful. And like I don't ever want divorce to be a thing in my life. You know, I don't want that to be a thing. So it's like you need to properly communicate the second you're feeling these emotions. It doesn't matter about the sunk cost. It doesn't matter about the work that you've put in already. Like you need to communicate how you're feeling, or nothing will ever happen, and you're going to continue to feel resentment, and the resentment's going to build, and then it's going to explode, and then fuck, next thing you know, you're fucking 50 and you hate each other, but you live in the same house, and you have to make a decision. Because I know the sunk, you know, listen, I completely understand. I completely fucking get it. But day after day, if you don't do it sooner, that just means the more time you're putting into, you know, a situation like that. It's every day. Every day you're putting more time into a situation. So if you feel the sunk cost fallacy now, think about how it's going to be in a week. Think about how it's going to be in a month. Think about how it's going to be in a year. Like you need to have a conversation now if you're feeling any negative type of way. Communication really is just the most important part about all relationships, whether it be with your parents, whether it be with your friends. Communication, always. I mean, fuck, just recently, probably a month ago, I lost a really fucking good friend of mine who I had talked for probably like 4 hours a day to. And just because of a lack of communication, we had one argument, lack of communication, and then we just didn't talk to each other for a month and a half. And then out of the blue, he reaches out and we both hop on a call and we realize we were both in the wrong. Like there's no fucking reason for that to even happen in the first place. You know, like it's just, it really is so dumb for people to not be communicating and sharing how they feel, even if, you know, at the expense of another person's feelings. Like, what about your own? What about your feelings? Why do your feelings not matter? Why do your feelings not matter? I just felt like it got to a boiling point with me in the situation. By the way, there are absolutely zero hard feelings for me in this individual. I honestly still love her, and I probably will for a long time. If you know, I don't know what the future holds. Fuck, you know, like we might get back together, we might not. I really don't know. I just, you know, we had a big conversation about the way both of us were feeling, and this was the outcome. And, you know, I had to say goodbye to my dog. I had to say goodbye to her, and I moved my stuff over to my mom's. And, you know, thank God I have an outlet like that, but I'm able to go to is just move all my stuff to my mom's. But, you know, it's like, it was my house too. And I missed the fuck out of it. I missed the fuck out of her. I missed the fuck out of my dog. And I think, yeah, the worst thing about all of this is how time, God, you will, like, I go from being very discontent and unhappy and wanting to work more and just not being able to pursue my dreams to like, this is only, it's still fresh in my mind. It's been like a week since it happened, since like we had a conversation. I moved my mom's, but I miss her so much. Even if all of like, there were all these negative things and maybe she could have improved and maybe I could have improved, but I miss my dog. I miss her. I miss just even the small things, like being at my mom's and like at my old house where the food, specifically where the food is, like where the trash bags are, where the utensils are, where the cups are. It's like all the little things just are so ingrained into my mind. I go to reach for a cup and I get a flashback of what happened in my house with her. Just like, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know. It's like those little things that just, they're eating me alive. And it's weird because, yeah, in the moment, during those moments, I wanted to work more and I was frustrated. But now in the future, I just keep having these thoughts of longing and loneliness. I don't know. It's tough. It really is tough because it's making me question the validity of my decisions. You know, it's because it started with the sunk cost fallacy. I had to really wrap my head around and journal and go to therapy and understand what I truly wanted, and that's to work. But then the second we break up and I moved to my mom's, I miss the fuck out of her. And I can't even work because that's all I'm thinking about is how much I miss this person and just like miss being in bed with this person, miss holding this person, miss hugging them. And, you know, and while all that's happening, I have to remember that relationships are difficult and relationships can end, and they always can end on your own terms. It doesn't have to be this massive blow up where you both hate each other and one of you's the villain and one of you like actually fucked up and one of you hates the other. There's no hard feelings. I just communicated how I felt. And this is where we are. Like, you've got to choose yourself. I don't know. I feel like if you're in my shoes where you're feeling like relationships are hard and maybe you want to break up with your boyfriend or break up with your girlfriend, I don't know. I think you know what you need. I think truly deep down, you know what will fuel you. You know what you need. Because yeah, you know, I feel like I do need her in my life, but I have this thing where if I don't succeed in life, I feel like there's no validity to my existence. There's no point. I don't feel like there's a point in living if I don't succeed. And I know that's unhealthy and not a great, you know, way to do it, but that's just how it is. That's who I am. But that's just who I am. And that's what I need. And I communicated that and I just couldn't give more time. And that's just how it is. I don't know. You know what you need. You just need to have the balls to do something about it. You either need to completely communicate how you're feeling to that person and come together, or if they're not willing to meet you, you need to figure something out where you prioritize yourself, because I know you're watching this, you're young. You need to prioritize yourself. That's all that fucking matters right now. Obviously it might be different when you have responsibilities like children, and like multiple children, like you're paying for a kid to go to college and shit. At the end of the day, I still think you can choose you in most aspects, but like if you have kids, I totally get it. And I totally understand it's different, but I understand that over 90% or more people watching this are probably younger than me. I'm 23. You're probably younger than me. Choose yourself, man or woman. Choose your fucking self. A thing that really helped me as well was therapy and journaling, coming to the realization of, because I was feeling resentment, but it's like, where is that misplaced anger and where is that resentment at her? It's definitely like, she's not doing anything wrong. She's just communicating how she feels and what she needs. So it's like, what's the deal with me? You know, I don't, you know, there wasn't a single second where she was the villain. I think it was just how I was reacting to her. And if you're reacting negatively to somebody and they're not doing anything wrong, there's definitely something inside yourself that you need to fix. And I think I went to therapy again and started journaling to really understand what was eating away at me. And that was the ability to not fully express myself in terms of the amount I want to work and what I want to achieve. Because I feel like the fact that I won't feel valid without winning is a much deeper, deep-rooted thing that I won't be able to get rid of, but it's part of me, and that's okay. And I think accepting that and then realizing what I need to do, you know, I don't know. I think it's hard because you do need to choose yourself, but it's also, I'm questioning the validity of my decisions because I care about her so much, you know, and I don't know, we'll see where life takes me. As of right now, I want to just work and collect as much data as possible to see how much I can get done. And I honestly, like, I don't know. For me saying that, let's lead into this next thing is like, I don't want to completely write off this person from my life. I don't want that at all. My girlfriend, I want her in my life. I really fucking care about her. Right. So I have this written down. Don't give up early. For example, like me and her, we had a conversation probably a month and a half ago where I communicated how I felt. We came to a stalemate, nothing improved. And then we had another conversation, which led to me moving to my mom's. That first conversation, that wasn't a let's break up, fuck you moment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it should ever be that. If you're watching this, don't ever just fucking, unless they're actually a bad person, don't ever just quit on somebody. Don't quit on yourself either. Like both, like, I don't know, this person could really be huge for you. And I think you just need to properly communicate exactly how you feel. And that's why therapy and journaling is so important, is because you can find out exactly how you feel. Write it down on paper. Like, feel your emotions and then bring them up to your significant other and see how they respond. Sometimes it leads in an argument that leads to a breakup. Sometimes it leads to your significant other saying, holy shit, you feel like this? I am so sorry, and making the changes to make you feel comfortable. It's all about compromise, right? And I do think you should compromise in a relationship, but not to the point where you don't matter anymore. It needs to be on both sides. It's a two-way street. If you're the only one compromising, you need to have a conversation about that as well. Wow, the rain stopped. I have this quote written down that I really think just fucking nails this home, and I hope helps you. Okay? Why do I let intellectual suffering prevent me from letting the depth of my emotions move me to action? Why do you suffer in thought instead of dwelling on what makes you content? I fucking love this quote. I don't know who said this. I just found it. I have no clue who said this. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever read, because the pain of thinking about it for months and months, years and years, is so much worse than actually doing it for both parties involved, for everyone involved, because people will heal. You will heal. You will feel better. And even if a big conversation or actually moving to action and not just intellectually suffering, if that conversation with another person in a relationship will lead to a better future for both of you, you need to do it. It doesn't matter if you get, like, a better future could be you break up. A better future also could be you stay together, but are properly communicating how you're feeling. Because boom, if you were thinking about a conversation for, let's say, 4 months, that's 4 months of intellectual suffering that you've been plagued by because you were gifted a beautiful brain. You know, but it's up to you to actually have that conversation. If you wait 4 months, that's 4 months of suffering. And then if life is better after that conversation, those 4 months were, the pain and the agony during those 4 months were useless, right? Useless. And those 4 months over the next 4 years is like 8% of your entire life that you were suffering. Sorry, not entire life, but those 4 years, you know what I mean? And that's like recent memory. Who the squid dying? And y'all just like live and not kill yourselves? What the fuck is that? This is looking kind of, honestly, I kind of like this. It's like, I definitely need to make the top a little bit cuter. I think this is pretty. I like my on the dock situation, or like, you know, this little sand thing. I like how I made the little mine entrance look. Honestly, this is looking pretty cute. I definitely need some more stuff along the walkway, maybe even a mine cart system, because I do have a fuck ton of stuff in that chest, not some stuff up here, nothing down here. And I gotta make some fishing rods and maybe, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let me sit back down. I don't know, friends. I really tried to, I know my girlfriend's probably watching this, and I still love her. And I don't know how to feel right now. I hope what I said helped you. I tried to communicate some stuff that I realized during this time period that really helped me and, you know, moved me to action and made me feel better about all of this. And I really tried to hold in tears. Sorry. I really tried to hold in tears for this recording. I just didn't feel, I don't know. I think the actual, I was going to say some bullshit, but I think the actual answer is I don't feel as emotionally vulnerable as I used to on the internet. And I want to get there again. I want to get back to who I used to be and feeling better and feeling intellectual, because recently I just feel very chaotic and not contained. And who knows? I don't know. I really fucking care about this person. I really fucking care about my dog. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful that I feel like I am a slave to work and my dreams and my passions. And I don't feel like I'll ever have closure unless I actually achieve them. And then I can reformat my brain. And hopefully that person's still there, because I really fucking care about this person. I just feel like I'm plagued by passion. I don't know. I think another thing is expect frequent uploads again. I'm back at my mom's. So that means, I mean, you can literally see the chart of when I was at my house with my girlfriend. I didn't have time for this channel. And now I feel, you know, I guess it's a positive. Fuck. I want to talk with you guys more, because I feel like I used to talk to her. And so now I feel like this gives me a place to intellectually communicate with people and hopefully help people. I hope that we, you know, this channel gets comments again, because the comments were fucking beautiful, and I really hope I can help some people out. But here's a Hope Core video. I know this is a tradition that I am still going to continue. I hope you enjoy.
That a whole lot, but Judge was on it.
Not only a Yankee fan wearing a Judge t-shirt.
Pedra, papel, tesoura. Perdeu. Pedra, papel, tesoura. Perdi, né?
Che fai? Stupido.
All right. Can't remember how the saying goes. It's been that long, but I'm proud of you. I care about you. Tell your family, your parents, you miss them. Tell a friend you want to hang out. Tell an old friend that you miss talking to them. Say I love you to your loved ones. Thanks for watching.